everyone, welcome to episode 23 of my women's basketball podcast, Anastasia Scouting Report. Got a really good one for you guys this week. So much ground to cover. Got to talk about Dallas Wings' last 5 games. I'm going to do it condensed. There's too much to go over. And us being the 4th seed, how we're playing right now. Also, my thoughts on All-Star and who got selected and who I felt like should have been selected. And then also, I got a bonus game review for you guys for the Mystics game and the Seattle game. And then also talking about Atlanta and then New York and their recent games. So a lot to talk about this week. And so if you're brand new here, I will say that I timestamp these episodes every single week. So if there are sections that are more pertinent to you, check down below in the description box for that. And then also I have a visual version of this on my YouTube channel, Anastasia25. If you're listening on Spotify, Apple, there will be a link down below to where you guys can check that out. I have all my stats and things of that nature. Let's get into it. That was a long intro. Okay, so first up, we had the Dallas Wings taking on the Connecticut Sun in Connecticut, the last game that Paige and Azzi will play in Connecticut. Okay, so you know this one was a sentimental game. That's for sure, right? And so ultimately, the Wings would win this game 86-83. Like I said, we had 5 games since I recorded my last episode. If I go into all these in details, I'm going to be talking about the Wings for like an hour and a half, and I have so much to cover today. So I'm kind of just going to give you guys the highlights and everything, and then focus more on overall thoughts for the Wings this week. There's just too much to talk about and everything. But we got to the graphics. So things that you need to know about this game, Paige was fantastic, okay? She played 37 minutes, 25 points, 7 rebounds, 7 assists, no steal, no blocks, 64.3% from the field, 9 for 14 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 5 for 6 free throw, 4 turnover. We clean it up. 5 personal foul and 75.1% true shooting. You know, Paige did her thing, and obviously she was the player of the game, rightfully so. Real posting, Paige loved scoring 25 points. And then she was really clutch in the 4th quarter as well with 11 points, 100% from the field, perfect 4 for 4. And then she's on pace to have the highest field goal in a 20-point per game season by a guard ever. At this point, she was shooting 51.9% from the field, tied for the most consecutive 25-point games by a point guard in WNBA history. And then it has her stats, and it said only Caitlin and Diana have more 25, 5, and 5 games in their first 2 seasons, okay? So yeah, my takeaways on Paige, she did her thing. There was this one shot that she hit. It was that and one. I think it was on Charlize Ledger-Walker. Don't know how she hit that shot. But just Paige's ability, again, to get others involved. She's really been on her rebounding moment lately, you know what I mean, and rebounding extra hard, and just the way that she can score and manipulate defenses. She just makes it look easy, you know what I mean? So just her ability, her talent, those things do not go underappreciated by me, certainly. And yeah, the 4th quarter, she just turned it on and went to another level. But yeah, she hit good bucket after good bucket. She just always hits the hard shots. She makes it look easy. So Paige was great in this game. Okay, so you got to know that Azzi wasn't her best day from the field, but at the end of the day, her 2 shots came when we needed them the most. I'm pretty sure there was one that was like to tie the game. One might have been to take the lead, but they were in the 4th quarter. So very timely buckets, you know what I mean? And so I feel like she'll learn from this game, you know, and like I said, I have so much respect for players like Paige, Azzi, Angel. I'm not going to come on here when it's not their best day from the field and then just hate on them and say the same thing that their haters are saying, because that's just not me. That's not the vibe. They've given me so much joy basketball-wise that I would never do that, you know. I might have some critiques and everything, but like I said, I try to be very careful in the way that I deliver that, you know what I mean, because I think that words mean things. I think that the way you say words mean things and everything. I also feel like I have a pretty good track record, you know, defending all 3 of them. So you can go back and check out my videos on this YouTube channel anytime. My TikTok account, Anastasia Scouting Report. My other one, Anastasia250_, and you can see my track record and see that if I do have criticisms for those players, it's all in good faith because I've been watching them for years at this point. But she came through when it mattered. She had 5 assists, you know what I mean? So I was thankful for that. And then her mid-range shooting this season, she had 33 field goals made, 3rd in the W, and 58.9% from the mid-range, 1st in the W. Okay, so the mid-range was cash for her as well. So yeah, got it done when it matters most. Azzi's very clutch. I always try to err also on the side on positivity with Paige, Azzi, Angel, those kind of players as well. So I think that that's something important worth noting. But we got it done. You know what I mean? So now we're going to Enrique in this game. So she played 26 minutes, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 30% from the field, 3 for 10 shooting, 3 of 9 from 3, no free throws, 1 turnover, 3 personal foul, 45% true shooting. It was just terrible hoops. It really was. And I made this tweet. I said, you think it can't get any worse, and then you see Enrique at the scores table, because exactly, okay? Jessica Shepard, 30 minutes played, 14 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 still 60%. So she was big. I think it was this game where the first half wasn't great and she kind of struggled to finish around the basket, if I'm remembering correctly. Might have been a different game. Sometimes I mix the games up, but I'm pretty sure this was the one where she had a good second half. And then Lan had 11 points, 3 rebounds, okay, 66%. So I feel like those were our top contributors in this game. Also, Lee gave you some good minutes. I'll give her some credit. 10 minutes, 5 points, 2 rebounds. It's really the defense. I think she had her moments and stuff. I think for certain matchups like BG and Camilla, she does well with that. So that's the highlights for us, I would say. For Connecticut, Lacan, 18 points, but she was 5 of 14 from the field, so she didn't shoot it well. Ledger Walker had a legacy game. I don't know why we allowed that. 14 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 of 8 from the field. BG, 13 and 11, 41% from the field. Aaliyah Edwards, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 57%. Olivia Nelson-Adota, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 still 66%. So yeah, and then I'll have all the advanced stats. So right now you guys will see the box score on your screen, so you guys can take a gander at that. Biggest leads, best player streaks, and then you can also see which we shot from the field, from the 3, free throws, turnovers, and like all those other advanced stats. And then this is my graphic I always show whenever we win games, my AJ DeBanza, gimmick. And like I said, AJ DeBanza like Bart Simpson for O. So every time we win, I put that on. And so that's kind of there. Overall thoughts on this game, an ugly win. I went live for this game, mind you, on my TikTok account, Anastasia 215 score. That's, kind of my backup. And so very hard to watch in real time, very stressful. So I'm glad we pulled it out, but yeah, it was tough. So I feel like they play hard. I kind of knew what we were already getting ourselves into going into the matchup because I do previews for the games as well. And so basically I was saying when you have like Olivia Nelson-Adota, Aaliyah Edwards, Brittany Griner, Anissa Morrow. I don't know why Anissa Morrow didn't play much in this game. People think that she might be on the trade block. She hasn't played the last couple games. And so I could definitely see that. And she's a good player, but I was kind of expecting her to play more than she did in this game because I think she definitely could have helped them, take it over the top and win because I think she's a good player. But they have good post players and we struggle with post play. You know what I mean? Whenever we have to defend in the post, we just can't do it. And, we're food in the paint. So I knew that was going to be there and they play hard. They had a bad record, but it's not for lack of trying. They just can't close games, because they somehow were in most of the games. So I kind of knew that, but they played hard offensively, defensively. And I feel like in the beginning, we just took some bad shots. I feel like our offense was a hot mess. We were out of rhythm. Part of that was just us. And then part of that was also them making us into playing that way. We had 15 turnovers. A lot of that was self-inflicted mistakes. Jose's rotations were awful. I feel like Lee should have played more. Enrique should have played less. Enrique got benched at the end, which was needed because we needed to win this game. And so, I just feel like at the end of the day, he don't really want Enrique on the team because he literally said that they're choosing who to guard, aka they're guarding Paige and Azzi because they're the best players, you know what I mean, and they're threats. And Enrique's not a threat to make shots, so they're leaving her open and they're daring her to shoot, and she's not making the shots at the end of the day. And when he's benching her at critical times, when we need to go on a run and stuff, and at the end of the games, he's done it multiple times, like I've discussed. And like I said, Paige was incredible. Especially in the fourth quarter, 4 for 4 field goal, 11 points, insane. Everyone's loved it. Like I said, Azzi made some clutch shots. She'll learn from this. Always got all the appreciation in the world for Azzi for basketball, how hard she plays. You know what I mean? Enrique's still a shot chucker. Lan did her thing, just great in the second half. Like I said, our defense in the post is food, and they ate off of that. And Rashid rotations were terrible. They can't close, and the officiating was so annoying. This game, it felt like it lasted for 10 years. That's how long the officiating had went on. It was actually ridiculous. So, yeah, everything was a foul, and there was definitely some times where they fouled us and it wasn't called. But that was my gist on the Connecticut Sun game. Then we go on to us taking on the Toronto Tempo at Coca-Cola Coliseum. Wings up, wings up. And so ultimately the score is going to be 89-76. Okay, so this was a good win for us. And so Paige in this game, another fantastic game from Paige. So she played 31 minutes, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, no steal, no block, 56.3% from the field, 9 for 16 shooting, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 for 3 free throw, 2 turnover, 3 personal foul, and 63.5% true shooting. Some stuff for Paige in this game. It said players to score 20 plus points on 50% plus field goal in 5 straight games, last 5 seasons. Asia Wilson 6 times, and Paige Beckers June 22nd to the present. And then it said Azzi Fudd and Paige Beckers left their mark on both ends Sunday versus Toronto. On offense, they combined to score or assist on 55 of 89 Wings points, 62%. And on defense, the Tempo scored just 5 points on 2 for 23 field goal when either was the primary defender. So Azzi, 0 points scored on her, 0-10 from the field when she was the primary defender for Paige. 5 points scored, 2 for 13 from the field. So, that's great stuff for them. So things that we love to see. Paige Beckers is averaging the fewest free throw attempts per game in a 20-point per game season ever. Also, we had SGA of the Oklahoma City Thunder of the NBA come into support Paige. So things that we love to see. Like, I love when the stars come to the games. Like, thank you. So they got a picture. I'll put that on the screen. Some vibes. So yeah, Paige was great in this game. I can't remember specific plays because I really be forgetting. But just know that Paige was lighting it up and that she was playing really hard on defense, getting her teammates involved. The same things that I always say. And you never want to let what she does go unnoticed and underappreciated, like I was saying earlier, but I'd be forgetting specific stuff. But just know that she did her thing. Azzi in this game, she played 30 minutes, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 1 block. Not her best day from the field, but we left with something when we had 5 3-pointers made. Thank you. Okay, and we had a 17 ball, no turnover, 3 personal foul, 51.7% true shooting. This was from Real, but Azzi Flood is the fastest guard in WNBA history to reach 20 career blocks. So things we wanted to see, and she's the only rookie this season to have multiple games with 5+ 3-pointers made. And so, yes, one thing that I liked in this game was that we're getting Azzi involved early, and I'll kind of talk about later about some of the discourse about Azzi's production and kind of what my take on it is. And I mentioned this on my last review for the Chicago game at this point in time when I'm recording, and I wanted to get in depth with it. So after I go through all the Dallas games, I'll kind of talk about that more. But I like that they got her involved early and stuff. And she had some great shots. You know, we had Beckers to FUD for 3, I believe, in this game. Like, she was doing her thing. So just to see Azzi playing the way she was playing, I was very happy. And you know that she's always going to lock in on the defensive end. And so I really enjoyed what she was doing on defense as well. And also in this game, you know, we thought Marina was going to be our primary assignment. But I kind of like how everyone shared the load of guarding Marina because it's always on Azzi to guard the best player. So, you know, I kind of like that. And I think she had her moments on Marina. And just like generally 3 steals, 1 block. Like, she's insane on defense, so you love to see it. Arike, she played 27 minutes, 10 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, no steal, no block, 30.8% from the field, 4 of 13 shooting. 1 of 7 from 3, 1 for 1 free throw, no turnover, 2 personal foul, and 37.2% true shooting. I don't even remember how Arike pissed me off in this one because every single game, she just finds a way. Again, a shot trucker, again, a construction worker, so I don't even remember. And so this was the point where she was shooting 10 for 47 from the field in her last 3 games. And I literally said this in my review about how Arike broke her own cycle because the Arike cycle is get slandered, balls out for 2 games, and then everyone questions why the new fans don't want her and then shoots us out of games and play no defense. So at this point, just broke her own cycle, was playing terrible and everything. And so yeah, she just recently had 2 gimmick games, so the cycle has restarted. So next game is supposed to be the choke job. And of course, it's the one that I'm going to against the Liberty and everything. So yeah, and then this Michael Jordan meme is so funny. And then the no Michael Jordan meme. But just watching Enrique play, it gets to a point. Jessica Sepper did her thing. She played 32 minutes, had 14 points, 15 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, no block, 45.5% from the field, 5 for 11 shooting, 0-1 from 3, 4 for 4 free throw, 3 turnover, minus back breaking, 3 personal foul, 54.9% true shooting. So I'm pretty sure this was one of the ones where she stepped up her defense because I believe it was the Connecticut game where she started playing better defensively. I can remember correctly. She had like a 3-game stretch where her defense was better. So I feel like she might have had better defense in this game. If I'm remembering correctly, I might be wrong. But yeah, she kind of struggled to finish around the basket, but you know, we got enough to shake and she rebounds the ball really well. So I feel like I was happy more often than not. All walk, 21 minutes played, 10 points, 6 rebound, no assists, 1 steal, 3 blocks, 66%. Was this the one where she had a better second half than the first half? I can't remember, but she finished with good numbers. I think this was the one where I feel like Lance's stat line didn't do justice to how good she was, if I remember correctly. A little bit for the tempo. Marina, 31 minutes played, 19 points, 5 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, and then she was 7 for 18. Oh yeah, that's what pissed me off. Arike was guarding her in the first half of this game, and Marina had like 14 points. I don't know why Arike was guarding Marina, so I don't even understand that. I really don't understand that. And then the second half, you know, that's kind of when we got Arike off her because I feel like everyone else did a better job. But yeah, she did some good stuff the first half. But yeah, we got her the second half. Niara Sabally, 14 points, 7 rebound, 5 assists. So yeah, those are the ones that at least stood out to me, I would say the most. And then I will put on our box score in this game so you guys can kind of see how we perform. Biggest leads. Best player streaks, Paige with 6 and Marina Mabry with 10. Okay, you can see how we shot from the field. We had less turnovers, more rebound, more block. We did better on the rebounding than them, which was going to be key. More points off turnovers, more points in the paint. They killed us in transition, but we still had 15 points. We killed them on second chance points. And so, yeah. My overall thoughts on this game is that I'm happy we won the game, obviously things that you love to see. And Paige and Azzi 2-man game is the things that we love, and just getting them both going early and whenever they just play off each other is great basketball. So I was really happy to see that because they were both cooking for sure. And then again, Arike is a shot choker, and it's like she was shooting us out of the game, but we built enough of a lead to where it didn't really matter, but it just gets to a point, you know what I mean? Because the tempo, they were cutting it down to like 10-9, and we shouldn't be in that position. But when you have Arike on the team, I said this, you're always going to keep the other team in the game. And like I said, the bad performance is piling up. And I also feel like for Azzi and Paige to be getting more touches at times, he has to sub her out of the game. So there's that. And we play better without her, like I've said. And I did say this in my review, but Jackie to the wings witty. She's 6 feet tall, same height as Paige. And she's someone who can also facilitate a little bit, which would be helpful for us. She can play really great defense. And she's a reliable scorer. So I would love Jackie Young on the wings and everything. People saying it won't happen. She only signed a 1-year contract, mind you. So let's keep that in mind. And then I don't know why he keeps subbing Paige and Azzi out at the same time. You know, this is a recurring thing in every single game, so even if I don't say it, it's underlined because he does it every single time. I don't know why he does that. And so, yeah, like I said, Joe Circle to finish did everything else. Lamb was great. Awak's second half in this one was great. Team efforts, you know, and they shared a defensive assignment on Marina, killed him on offensive rebounding. Transition defense and perimeter defense is awful because how many threes did we even give up in this game? We gave up 10 threes in this game, and we also had 10 threes in this game. But yeah, both of those things were still bad. I felt like this game was big for us because we looked like us again. You know, we had like a 4-game stretch where we just weren't playing like ourselves. And part of that was us and self-inflicted mistakes, and part of that was the other team playing really good defense on us. But we looked terrible the previous games before this, especially that Connecticut game. That was awful. So we finally looked like ourselves, got off to a good start, so I was happy with that as well. And so, yeah, Toronto played hard. I want to give them credit for that, but they also have terrible defense and are dealing with a lot of injuries as well. And their defense at the 3-point line was awful too, so we went band for band in this one. And then next up, we had Dallas Wings taking on the New York Liberty. This was in Barclays. Wings win this game 88-77, okay? And I love the little promo photo with Paige and Sui. So yeah, Paige in this game, she played 33 minutes, had 15 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, no steal, and 2 block. Not her best day from the field. They basically double and tripled her the entire game, and then all she had to do was just get the ball off to just Shepard, let her facilitate and play off the ball, and then she played really hard on defense in this game and also the Toronto game as well. So I feel like this was one of her best defensive games as well. Like, she was really doing her thing. So I want to give her credit for what she was doing there. 4 for 4 free throw, only 1 turnover, okay? So we had that. And she's the only player in the WNBA this season with 400 plus points and 100 plus assists. So there is that, a little bit of records for Paige. So kind of talked about that. Also, there was just some easy looks that she has that she typically makes that didn't go in. But again, like, she does everything else, you know what I mean? And so for me, that's what matters. When your shot's not falling, what can you provide for the team? Because a lot of people, their shot's not falling, Enrique, you're not going to get anything else from them. But Paige, you know, just really shine. And so yeah, at this point, having 420 points and 127 assists was really outstanding for Paige. Now we go into Azzi. She played 34 minutes, had 12 points, no rebound, 3 assists, 2 steal, and no block, 46.2% from the field, 6 for 13 shooting, no threes made, no free throw, no turnover, thank you, 46.2% true shooting. And so at this point, Azzi Fudd is leading all rookies this season in steals, blocks, and threes. She would join Tamika Catching in 2002 as the only rookies in WNBA history to do so, and she's on pace to record the most steals and blocks by a rookie guard in WNBA history. At this point, she had 37 steals and 20 blocks as well. So yeah, takeaways on Azzi. I really feel like, I think it was the fourth quarter she made all of her shots. So I feel like the second half, that's really kind of when she started to get in her groove. So I was just really happy with that. And she made some huge shots for us in this game. Always coming through on defense, you know, having some moments on like Sabrina generally and just her ability to guard 1 through 5 and how hard that she plays. You know, we still had 2 steals. Like, she had 1 steal off Sabrina and then she took it to the other end and hit that midi. Thank you. Like, that was cash. That was cash. She had 3 assists in this game and everything. And also we know the defensive coverages that Azzi and Paige see every single game, which I kind of talked about earlier. So it's just ever present, okay? Like I said, they be guarding them like it's a Super Bowl. I swear to God. Because they don't do that when anybody else comes to town, I swear. But yeah, Azzi just does so many things. Like, Azzi has the intangibles, and that really matters to me, and she just plays really hard, so I appreciate that. Enrique in this game, 32 minutes played, 8 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 1 steal, no block, 37.5% from the field, 3 of 8 shooting, 0-4 from 3, 2 for 2 free throw, 1 turnover, 4 personal foul, 45% true shooting. I saw this on Twitter. It was so funny. It had the graphic. It said, "So I snuck into a WNBA game today," and then they put Enrique face on it. This was hilarious. I really do forget specific place and everything. It feels like this game happened 10 years ago, but I know she did other stuff to piss me off because she does that every game. So I feel like that's a given. You know what I mean? Jessica Shepard did her thing. She played 37 minutes, 22 points, 12 rebound, 11 assists, no steal, no block, 68.8% from the field, 11 for 16 shooting, no threes, no free throws, 4 turnovers. That's what's backbreaking. It really was. 3 personal fouls, 68.8% true shooting, okay? So yeah, I feel like this was one of her better defensive games, if I'm remembering correctly. I feel like having Lan out there helps her and stuff, I would say, because I feel like Lan had some good minutes in this game. But yeah, triple double is absolutely incredible, and she's now tied for the most 20-point triple doubles in WNBA history. Alwalk had a strong showing, 28 minutes played. She had 10 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, a near triple double, 0 steal, and 3 block, 50%. So like I said, a matchup like this is really advantageous to her because I feel like she really tries guarding Stewie, and she can have her moments and stuff. And also, I just feel like her ability to stretch the floor, hit threes at times. I just feel like this is a really good matchup for her, and also the Aces. So she had a good game from what I can remember. And then Lan, 16 minutes played, 8 points, 5 rebound, 1 assist, no steal, no block. Not her best day from the field, you know what I mean? I think sometimes she'd be taking bad shots. The last game that we just played, Chicago, she was taking bad shots. I forgot to mention that in my review, but sometimes we got to kick it out more. But I thought, she had some good moments. She had some good shots. She rebounded well, had some good defense. So I was happy with that. And then you guys can see everyone else who didn't play. For the Liberty, it's worth noting, Stewie balled out. 33 minutes played, 29 points, 9 rebound, 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, 62.5% from the field, 10 for 16 shooting, 0-3 from 3, 9 for 11 free throw, 2 turnover, 4 personal fouls, 69.6% true shooting. So did what we could to guard Stewie, just a hard guard, you know what I mean? And I feel like we were able to get just enough stops on her and everything. She still had almost 30 on her because she's just an elite player. But, she lit us up, I would say. So, yeah. Sabrina, she played 33 minutes, 14 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, no steal, 1 block. Not her best day from the field. I think Paige had moments, Azzi had moments, so we had some good moments defending her. But also when she was wide open, she bricked her shots, and Sabrina's not consistent. It's the same things that I be saying about Enrique. We have 4 turnovers in the game. So that's what I remember, and her defense is terrible. John Cole double-double, 17 and 12, but she always coasts by in the games. If you watch, you know what I mean. Marine, 7 points and 28% from the field. Marine just continually pisses me off in the games. So then you guys will see scoring by quarter. A lot of people have said that the second quarter really did the Liberty in. I mean, when you only score 11 points in a quarter, it's hard to win a game because they outscored us in every other quarter. But yeah, you can see biggest leads, all those other things. We shot better from the field, 35 for 76 versus 26 for 65. Both our 3-ball wasn't hell. You know what I mean? We had less turnovers. We had more rebounds. We had 13 more assists than they did, more points in the paint. So yeah, second chance points. So we came clutch in a lot of the big categories. And so yeah, overall takeaways on this game, like I mentioned, Paige was double teamed and triple teamed the entire game, and they made her take a lot of difficult shots and giving up the ball. So again, we just made that adjustment of giving just the ball, letting her run through the offense and playing through her, and then boom. And so they did not account for that because the first time they made that adjustment because Paige and Azzi lit them up with 24 points apiece. And so they're just they think they take Paige out of the game's over. Like I said, it's not the same anymore now that we have people like Jessica Shepard on the team who also have the opportunity to facilitate. So making that adjustment, yeah, they couldn't stop her in the post. Their defense was terrible. They never accounted for her. You know how many times we ran the same thing and they didn't stop it, please. And I would agree, people, this was the biggest game. This was the biggest game, and our big showed out. Just triple-double. Alwalk had her moments. Lan had her moments, so I was pleased with that. Like I said, Paige defense was great in this one. AZ second half was great. Loved her defense on Sabrina. Enrique, terrible, nothing new. I love that we still found a way to win, even though it wasn't Paige's best. Because last season, those things weren't happening. I felt like in the beginning, they made us uncomfortable, and our half court was a mess. I felt like we were rushing too much. We didn't look great. I think, we slowed down, and then we started making them uncomfortable with our defense, and we started getting good stuff to go, and then we went on a huge run in the second quarter. So yeah, also what killed our momentum, Jonquil having multiple offensive fouls at the end and with those illegal screens and everything. And people want to say that it isn't fouls. You were moving. That's an illegal screen. That's a foul. It is what it is. So yeah, she 3 or 4 back-to-back. We shot better, out-rebounded, and, they got away with some reach-ins for sure in this game. Also, there was a moment in the game when Stewie literally pushed the ref, and they did not call that, So there was definitely some times where they didn't call stuff, so I will say that. And the entire game plan being to take Paige and AZ out, they didn't accommodate for everyone else, So that was their problem, like I kind of said. Their guard defense is still food. Curse rotations are terrible. Injuries hurt them as well. But again, you have too much talent to play the way that you play continuously. They make too many mistakes. Stewie's the only reliable player on the team, and I still stand by that. And, like I said, we eventually figured it out. So, yeah, we did our thing. So always good to get a win in Barclays, and now we are 2-0 versus Liberty. And at the time of recording this, the Liberties are our next game. So hopefully I can get this episode out before then, and I will be going to that game like I mentioned. So there's that. Now we go on to the next game, okay? So we took on the Toronto Temple, this time in Montreal. Ultimately, the House Wings win this game 108-95, and oh, what a show this game was. Okay, so Paige went off in this game. That's why I always say starting off with one of my goats, Paige Beckers, because this was insane. She played 38 minutes, 34 points, okay? 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steal, no block, 59.1% from the field, 13 for 22 shooting, 2 for 5 from 3, 6 for 6 free throw, only 1 turnover in this game, 2 personal foul, and 69% true shooting. Paige's efficiency is truly unparalleled in this league as a guard. What she is doing, scoring at all 3 levels, you love it. And she has the most 35 in 5 games in the entire WNBA this season. And she's tied as the fastest point guard since 1999. She reached 450 points and 100 assists in a season. Okay. And then this is just a graphic of her last 6 games. And just, you guys see what she's been doing. And then this is something Nike did for her to show as well. And so, yeah, I love this one bucket she had when she hit the 3. And then she turned around and then she looked back. It was very Steph Curry-esque. But, yeah, like, they could not guard Paige. And I forgot to say this. But the first time we had, what is it called? Julie Allman was talking about she wanted to guard Paige and everything, and it was this whole thing. She didn't play the first time, so that was, a non-variable. But I always favored Paige in that matchup anyhow. And this time, Paige literally had more points, so I just think that it's ironic. But she literally cooked everybody. She was doing it all. The tough and one, scoring from the 3, scoring from the mid-range. Was this that one when she had that tough fadeaway? I think the first one might have been that one when she had the yo-yo dribble, the Chris Paul thing. Like, she was bringing out everything in this game. Like, you be forgetting specific stuff, but watch. Like, bro, she went off in this game. Bucket for a bucket for a bucket, bro. Like, she was cooking. So, one of the best Paige games in her entire career so far in this season. And to get the win was extra sweet. But, yeah, she went off. Her and Marina really went band for band, bucket for bucket. So, yeah, Marina went off too, which I will talk about. But shout out to Paige. This was a great performance. Now on to Azzi. She played 36 minutes, 13 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, no block. Not her best day from the field, but we left with 13 points. So I always leave here something with double figures. But yeah, I mean, we left with something always. We had 3 threes, and she's the fastest wings player ever to reach 40+ threes in her WNBA career. So we love that, and is leading all rookies in total points, steals, and blocks over the last month. Okay. So yeah, Azzi did her thing. Azzi did her thing. Was this the one where she had that transition 3? I believe. I really like that play. Like, she be having good plays. We know she plays her tail off on defense. Always appreciating Azzi foot hoops and what it's bringing to me. Enrique in this game, she played 30 minutes, had 20 points, 3 rebounds, 7 assists, no steal, no block, 54.5% from the field, 6 for 11 shooting, 1 and 3 from 3, 7 for 7 free throw, no turnover, 2 personal foul, and 71% true shooting. This was Enrique's first good game in weeks, literally since the Valkyries game. It's been that long since Enrique's had a good game. And what was that game? June 11th, June 13th, something like that. It's been a bit. That's what you need to know for one. And then, so yeah, like Enrique's stock has actually risen the last 2 games, so it really would be the perfect time to trade her. Let's put it those things. And so her defense is still terrible. Her defense is still terrible, and she's still taking BS. You know what I mean? Because it was either this game or it was the last game, I believe, or something like that. It was a recent game where she literally missed 1 jump shot, and then she just decided to foul bait for the rest of the game. So yeah, whatever. Like, this was a good shooting game, but y'all know what she be doing on defense and the other things, so it just gets to a point. And mind you, before this game, Enrique was literally shooting Halloween from the field. I'm not even being hyperbolic. I'll put that on the screen. But yeah, like, bro, like, this is some of the worst guard play I've seen in the W, bro. So she was definitely due for a good game, but also the defensive coverages are going to be different. So you finally made them pay this time, but I just always take the under because I don't know what to expect from her, besides the fact she's inconsistent. Jessica Shepard, she played 40 minutes, 20 points, 17 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, no blocks, 77.8% from the field, 7 for 9 shooting, no threes, 6 for 8 free throw, 4 turnovers, backbreaking, 79.9% true shooting. So yeah, did her thing, 20 and 17. I mean, that's good hoops. That's good hoops at the end of the day. Alicia Clark, this was a good game. She had 10 points, so gave us good production off the bench. Odyssey only 8 points. Allwalk only 3 points. Allwalk did not play well in this game. So yeah, there's that for us. For Toronto in this game, Marina went off. She played 27 minutes, had 34 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, no steal, no block, 55.6% from the field, 10 for 18 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3, 8 for 8 free throw, 3 turnover, 4 personal foul, and 79% true shooting. Yeah, like I said, Marina and Paige went band for band. This was the one we really couldn't guard Marina, bro. We put literally everyone on her. Like, you look at her highlights and everything, there was a lot of good contests. She made hard shot after hard shot after hard shot. You know what I mean? So it was fun to watch in a sense as a fan of the sport, but also as Dallas fan and really a Paige and AZ fan. That was difficult. That was difficult because we really threw the kitchen sink at her, but she would not be denied. So to watch her and Paige go band for band, like this was a shootout that we wanted to see. So many times you look forward to games and shootouts, and then one person doesn't deliver on their end of the bargain, or it's just a bad game. But yeah, they both delivered. So Marina's been having a great season. So shout out to her. This was one of the best guard performances you will see this season, and I've really been enjoying her lately. You guys know that I love Kelsey Plum down. Kelsey Plum has been out due to injury, so this has kind of felt like my Kelsey Plum replacement for now. And so yeah, but Marina's doing her thing. So shout out to her. Like this was a great game by Marina. And then Yushkaita had a good game, 25 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. So shout out to her, playing with great physicality in the game, getting to her spots. Conde with 12. Y'all know I don't like Izzy had 18. I'll never give her a 10 off that Angel stuff. And then I'll put on the screen, our scoring by quarter. This is really a shootout, and the runs and all that as well. And then the head-to-head metrics. We both shot pretty well from the field. They technically shot better than us, 54.7% versus our 52.7%, and better from 3. Our perimeter defense was terrible. You have up 14 threes, but we also made 11. So yeah, we had less turnovers, only 7, they had 14. We out-rebounded a lot. 41-28 is crazy, so wanted to share that. More points off turnovers, 18-7. They beat us in points in the paint, 36-32. More fast break points. We had 12 to their 9. Second chance points, we had 15 to their 8. Okay. And so yeah, overall thoughts, fun to watch Paige and Marina go band for band, like I just said. That was good hoops. And so we shot great. We didn't really make threes in the first half. The second half, the threes started falling, so that was good. And then, like I kind of have been saying at times, I feel like they don't be getting AZ the ball early enough, especially if you watch the first time. That was one of the reasons why we were able to run away with it, because they were getting her the ball early and she was hot. So yeah, I feel like they'd be taking too long to get AZ the ball in the games. And so yeah, again, we'll get to that. Trey Enrique, like I said, this was a dogfight, and there was no defense played really by either team at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It was just band for band. So yeah, did our thing on the rebounding, especially the offensive rebounding. We came through overall. Paige was fabulous. AZ was big in the fourth quarter defensively on Marina. Okay, so I wanted to add that. I forgot to say that earlier. But yeah, that was really huge for AZ. That was really huge for AZ and stuff. And just like for us as a team, what AZ does defensively doesn't get talked about enough. And so that's what I'm here for, to give her some praise for that. Also, I do be making defensive highlights and stuff. So basically what I do is I just get the tangible ones. I get her steals and blocks. So I'm updating that, and I post like through every 5 games, and I constantly update my compilation. So that is on my TikTok account, Anastasia Loves Hoops. Also on my Twitter account, at the Anastasia25. So I'll throw those on the screen. And again, I have a mutual who makes defensive highlights, like all the stuff that doesn't show up on the box score, Thirst T on Twitter. So I'll put that on, and those things will be linked down below in the description. So go check those out. But just always trying to give AZ some love defensively, and just what she does as a player. She just plays her tail off, like I said. So yeah, her defense was really big on Marina in the fourth, because she was heating us up. Jose rotations were awful, nothing new. Suge doesn't really play anymore. Odyssey doesn't pass. Our defense really was not good until the fourth quarter, and we finally locked in. Just being late to rotate, terrible defense in the paint. The post players ate us up. Marina went off. The Temple defense was awful too, but we locked in. Okay, so that was there. Now we're going to the latest game that we just had against the Chicago Sky last night at the time of recording this. Ultimately, we win 96-91 at American Airlines Center. We officially have a 5-game winning streak for Dallas Wings. Wow, we are here. So Paige in this game, she played 36 minutes, 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 11 assists. Hashtag double-double, hashtag PG1, hashtag table setter, okay? And I'm always going to mention that cake I got made for the double-double against Elana Dream. I've said this before. I think guard double-doubles are so much fun, because you don't see this often. That Alandria video, this is healing for the world. You don't see this often. So I'm always going to celebrate a guard double-double, and especially for Paige, because like I said, I thought we were going to have them a lot last season and didn't. So every single time that she gets one, I cherish it. You know what I mean? So 22, 6, and 11 for Paige is really outstanding. No steal, 1 block. Like, we made some shake from the field. Like, 7 for 15 really ain't bad. 1 for 3 from 3. 7 for 8 free throw. 1 turnover. Okay, that is a great assist to turnover ratio. Only 11-1. 4 personal foul, 59.4% true shooting. So there we go. And then some Paige moments I loved in this game. The one when she hit that midi and then she blew a kiss to the Chicago bench. Like, oh, she ate that. And then this was another one when she literally blocked Camilla and then she got the ball and transitioned to AZ for 3. Like, that's one of my favorite Paige plays the entire season. We got it done on both ends. Paige Beckers is the 3rd youngest point guard in WNBA history to record 20-plus points, 5-plus rebounds, and 10-plus assists, so that's definitely worth noting. And she has the most points by a point guard in her first 2 seasons since 1998. This is generational player, like, bro. Like, Paige is really one of one and generational talent, I tell y'all. Like, Paige is just so much fun, has all of the intangible, heart of a champion. And she currently leads the WNBA in fourth quarter points this season with 138. Stewie at number 2 with 126, and Marina with 122. And then I love this graphic my mutual made. It said, "Oh boy, am I excited to watch my favorite team play. I'm gonna kill myself. Holy shit, Paige is the clutchest player to ever live. Nice, we won." Exactly, because Paige has really been on a clutch run, and Paige is very clutch. And then underdog stats in her last 5 games that they posted. So 23.6 points per game, 7.4 assists per game, 5.8 rebound per game, and 52% from the field. And so yeah, the fact that there wasn't player of the week last week is BS and everything. Like, Paige should have had a player of the week. Next week we gotta get. I mean, we had a 5-game winning streak. Like, what else more can Paige do? And she's been great. And then this is her stats again, and it says 5 assists on 0 turnovers in the fourth quarter to secure the win, because we take care of the ball. So thank you. Also something important and worth noting for Paige is that she's officially made more threes this season than last season. I believe she made 39 last season, and this season she's already made 40 in 23 games played. Now, we know that she had the issues with her back and everything and all the injuries she was dealing with, and she just loves to play the game, so she's going to play the game as much as she can. But happy that more threes are going in for her. But yeah, she had some great shots. You know what I mean? That 3 that she had at the top of the key to start the game, I thought was great. I like that mid-range. I like her getting to the basket. The fourth quarter, I thought that she was great in this game. Just always playing her tail off, always getting her teammates involved. Like, it was a really fun game to watch for Paige. So just shout out to her. I just really enjoy watching her play. And I know I say a lot of the same things, but she's just so consistent. And I remember whenever Flage was talking to her, and she was like, "You can have highlights of you doing the same stuff. Like, that's pro level." And exactly. And I'm going to post highlights for Paige as well on the aforementioned TikTok and my Twitter account as well. So I will do that and everything. I don't post all the highlights that I put together on the same day because it's too much. I posted Azzi's defense highlights, so her steals and her blocks together, and then I also did like steals and blocks the last 5. I posted her assists recently. I've been holding on to that. I posted her field goals made in her last 5 and everything. So I got to do her threes throughout the season. I got to update that compilation, so I might do that and everything. So yeah, I'll probably do something pretty similar for Paige. So I'll get those things posted at some point and everything. But yes. And so shout out to Paige, as always. Also, there was a point when she got fouled on the rebound, and then they did not upgrade that. I should have upgraded that. Down to Azzi. So she played 35 minutes in this one. 16 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 2 steal, 1 block. We left here with something with 16 ball. We had 3 threes made, 3 for 3 free throws. #PositivityFC. No turnover in this game. 52.2% for shooting. And she's the fastest player since 2002 to reach 40 plus threes and 40 plus steals. So you love that. And she also was very clutch in this game. She had the game tying 3, and then she had a huge block after that. So those are big plays. Okay, so love to see those things. And she's on pace to have the 3rd most threes by a rookie in WNBA history, and she has the 3rd most steals in the WNBA so far. So the same thing that I keep saying, just about like the intangibles that she has, how hard she plays, how smart she is, and just always being ready when her number is called. Like, she's very clutch. She always hits very timely shots for us. So just thankful to have her on the team and that we made her the #1 pick. So you love to see that. And now we go on to Enrique. So she played 30 minutes, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, no block, 42.9% from the field, 6 for 14 shooting, 2 for 6 from 3, 3 for 4 free throw, 1 turnover, no percentile, 53.9% for shooting. So yeah, in the beginning, she was making her shots, so I'm just like, Lord, like, the ball hogging is going to persist. And then she went cold, and I feel like he took too long to sub her out. And then he subbed her back in, and she actually made clutch shots at the end, which she's rarely done for us. There's like 3 games where that's actually happened. So yeah, like, she did her thing scoring the ball, give credit for that, you know what I mean, and actually hitting some clutch shots at the end for a change. But again, it goes back to the same problems. I feel like sometimes she just be chucking up anything, and then the bad defense. You know what I mean? And then also the rotations. Yeah. Again, like, the stock's not going to get higher than it is now. Then Jessica Shepard, 34 minutes played, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 69.2% from the field, 9 for 13 shooting, no threes, 1 for 2 free throw, 1 turnover, 1 personal foul, 68.4% true shooting. Okay, so yeah, I think offensively she did her thing with a 19 and 10 game, a double-double, so these are things that we love to see for 1. But for 2, her defense was terrible. Couldn't guard Camilla. I really don't know why he didn't start lead this game. Every single time we have played them, Camilla has given us trouble, so why you don't kind of have Alwa come off the bench, if anything, and then also start Lee to help with that. I don't get that. But yeah, her defense, it's just bad. It's bad. Like, it's really regressed again, which is disappointing. Lee, she played 23 minutes. She had 10 points, 10 rebounds, so she also had a double-double. 1 steal, 1 block, 66% from the field. The only person who could really stop Camilla. We held Camilla below the average, and she's a big part of that. I remember that 1 assist Azzi had her for 3 very timely. We rebounded well, so I think in certain matchups, she can do really well. So I love to see those things. Also unrelated, I would like to see Lauren Betts on the Dallas Wings. And so you might be like, how did you kind of come to that conclusion? I just watched the Mystics game, and in general, I've always liked Lauren, you know what I mean? At least I've, kind of like grown fond of her her, I'll say that. But yeah, I think Lauren is a really good player, and I feel like she has the intangibles. I feel like her defense is really good, and we don't need her to take threes on the team. So I would like Lauren on the team, but that's a side tangent. Maddie is not great. Lan, the shot selection was terrible. Had moments of defense, but then she got hurt with the leg, so I don't know when she's coming back. For the Sky, Sydney Taylor had 21 and 2. She's a ball hog though, but she had a decent game shooting the ball. Azri double-double, 18 and 13. Camilla double-double, 12 and 13. But yeah, I don't know why he didn't start Lita have the second half, because it was literally like he had Jessica Shepard out there again getting cooked by Camilla because she just went back to her. So I don't get that. Natasha Cloud with the 15 ball, but she still don't move me. Courtney Vandersloot washed 9 points in this game. I'm just not moved. Skylar didn't play in this game. And then you guys can see the advanced stats. And the fact that we scored 30 points in the fourth quarter, that's great. So it feels like the inverse of last season, because last season we would do good in the first 3 quarters and then we would fall apart in the fourth quarter. But this season, it's like we'd be doing F all for 3 quarters in some games where we lock in the fourth quarter, and being able to do that is great. So yeah, then you guys can see the advanced stats. Only 5 turnovers in the game stands out rebounded 43-40 as well. We got killed in the paint. 54 points in the paint is unacceptable, even out in transition and all that stuff. Okay. So now my overall thoughts on this game. We had a 5-game winning streak now, and so it's great to see that. We are 4th now overall in the standings and stuff, so you're going to see the MVP conversations for Paige rise up more. At least they should, because she's been great, and that's something I've made a video about and everything. But yeah, nice to see the team stack wins and everything. Do I love how we're getting it done? No, because it's very stressful. You know what I mean? And you ever heard that phrase? It's like, I follow you to hell, but I wish you would stop going there. That's how I'd be feeling, because I just feel like we make it harder than it needs to be in these games. And I appreciate the fight, but it's just, we got to lock in the 3 quarters before this so we don't get to these positions, because we had so many close games this season. So yeah, in the beginning we got fried. Camilla killed us. We were missing some good looks there. When Lee came in, I felt like that had helped us. I feel like the lineup we had without Enrique was decent. I feel like he kind of doesn't run certain lineups long enough. And also at the point in the season with 23 or 24 games that we've had, you should know who plays well together and who doesn't. Why do you keep having Paige and Azzi subbed out at the same time? Like I talked about, I feel like the Azzi and Enrique lineup doesn't really work, because Azzi's just not going to see the ball the way she needs to with Enrique, especially the one with Azzi, Enrique, and Zaza. And then the one when he has like the bench in, and then you just have Paige or you just have Azzi. Like, he needs to figure out the lineups. Like, I don't know why it's taking so long to figure out who plays well together and who doesn't. And for some people, you have to gain chemistry, but some people just have CTE and they can't help us. So I don't understand that. I feel like he played Enrique too long. Bench is awful. Again, defense in the paint is food. We gave up 54 points, late to rotate. It just gets to a point for me. Got to make trades. I say the same thing every single time. We'll see when that comes to fruition, but I hate that. Again, make it harder than it needs to be. So yeah, and then yeah, so that's kind of my takeaways there. I'm glad we won the game. And so that's where we're at. So I feel like I might try to do this condensed version in the future with Dallas, because I'd be spending like 45 minutes an hour talking about Dallas. So I feel like I'm so conscientious of the fact that I want my podcast time to be shorter. And so if I condense everything more often and kind of just give you guys the highlights, I think that'll be better, and I can cover more stuff that's outside of Dallas. You know what I mean? So I think I might kind of try this in the future, but hopefully the next time I record, we don't have 5-game happen. But we'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think of that. But I feel like I was able to strike a good balance of kind of giving you guys the details. So now let's have the quick conversation about Azzi's production this season and everything, because it's really been a talking point. So for reference, this season so far, Azzi is currently averaging 13.3 points per game, 1.7 rebounds a game, 1.9 assists per game, 1.7 steal, and 0.9 block. 31 minutes, 46.1% from the field, 37.3% from 3, and 55.3% true shooting. Okay. So there's been a lot of discourse on her production and everything, and her season. Some people feel like she's not having a good season and blah, blah, blah. And so this is the time to talk about it, because it's a really layered conversation. So basically, like I said earlier, I feel like you have to get her going early in the games. I feel like when you get her going early in the games, it's only something that's going to help us. Azzi is a shooter. You have to get her in rhythm. You know what I mean? And there's just times where she's open and then they don't get her the ball and stuff, or times where she starts off good and then, like the Aces game, for example, she was like 3 for 3 and then she's not seeing the ball for minutes at a time and then she goes cold. So you just have to keep her in rhythm throughout the game, but especially early. So I feel like that's just something that we don't do all the time. You know what I mean? So that's just something that has to be done. Another thing is the Enrique of it all. You know what I feel like? It's just not going to be what it needs to be like until Enrique gets off the team, you know, because Enrique is just getting in the way. It is what it is at this point. We see the way that Enrique plays that I mentioned ad nauseum in this podcast episode, but Enrique is in the way. Nothing new. So I feel like that's something noted, and I feel like it is beneficial to Paige and Azzi when they don't play with Enrique and stuff, and when they play the two-man game, because Enrique defensively, we see what happens there. Offensively, the shot selection. Another thing that's important and worth noting on the Enrique thing is I just feel like she's getting in the way of of Paige and Azzi's development. You know what I mean? And it's just like this offense has a ceiling on it with her on the team because of offensively how inconsistent she is, and defensively she's a liability. So then Paige and Azzi have to overcompensate for that and spending time making up for the mistakes that she makes in the games and stuff. You know what I mean? And like I said, she's always keeping the other team in the game. So this offense is only going to be but so good because Paige and Azzi have to overcompensate for the mistakes and everything. And even when Enrique has a good game, it takes away from their touches and they're not getting in rhythm. You know what I mean? So it's taking away shot attempts and everything. So yeah, it's just really capped in that standpoint, and I feel like people don't really think about Paige and Azzi's development, right? Because they're already so good, you know what I mean? But when you have someone like Enrique on there, it's just like the offense is not looking how it should look, and everything's not going the way that it should go because there's just so much that's on it with her. And I also feel like as a team, we'd be trying so much to get her involved, and then she breaks, and then that also changes momentum, and then it's getting the other team back in because we're just focused so hard on trying to get her into it, and it's like, no, we need to be getting Azzi in rhythm, Azzi involved early in the games and stuff, and getting Paige her touches. And like I said, Paige and Azzi two-man game, like this is things that you love to see. And just like the connection and stuff and how they play, like these are the ones that you build around, and Enrique just fundamentally gets in the way of that all. Also, it's just like whenever we need to go on runs, whenever we need to secure close wins, like he be subbing Enrique out of the game like Seattle and some of the other things, you know what I mean? And she's had moments where she's been clutch for us, but those are few and far in between, you know what I mean? In a big game moment, in a clutch moment, I don't want the ball in Enrique's hands. The ball belongs to Paige and Azzi in that moment, you know, because they've proven that they can come through in those moments with multiple games in their career and stuff, and they've been very clutch for us, and their decision making is there. Enrique's decision making isn't there. So with her there, it's just like you see the ball go in her hand in those moments. It's like we shouldn't even be in the position for that, you know what I mean? But because of how she plays in the game throughout it, we're in that position and stuff. But I just don't want to see that, you know what I mean? Like Paige and Azzi are built for those moments, you know, so we just have to take her out of the equation for that as well. And I wish we would have traded Enrique, you know, or at the very least not resigned her. And people said they don't want to let her go for anything, but you see how she is, you see how she plays and stuff, and with that contract, teams don't want to take her, you know what I mean? So maybe we'll trade her in the off season, but and I'm just so irritated by that whole situation because it really messes up everything, you know, so it just gets in that. And I talk about this later, but getting a defensive wing who can score would also ease the burden a lot on Paige and Azzi, and that's something that we need to do on this team too. But yes, also mentioning the fact that Azzi has been playing out of position with us, you know what I mean? If you watch the games last season for UConn, she was playing the small forward, and she's still playing it now. And like Enrique, it's just like Enrique not good enough for Azzi to be playing out of position in the first place. So Azzi's literally playing out of position. So we actually get a wing you can slot Azzi back in at the 2, and like I said, somebody to help ease that defensive burden and like all that other stuff, and someone who is a threat to some degree offensively and everything. People have said this before too, but it's like there's times where she has the opportunity to kind of take the shot and everything, and she gives it up for whatever reason. She feels like she doesn't have enough space, and times where, you know, I would kind of like to see her take the shot and everything. And so, disclaimer, this is no hate. This is no hate. I love Azzi down. Again, check my resume. I have the Azzi jersey back here and everything and all that other stuff. So I feel like all those things should be there. You know, this is just me having an honest conversation and everything. And again, words mean things. So the way that I'm wording it for a reason, you know, because we're having this conversation and everything. But yeah, like just sometimes, you know, where you would like to see her take shots that she gives it up for whatever reason, you know what I mean? And I feel like she's still kind of working on her bag, and my friend kind of mentioned how the closeouts on her are really harsh and the way that she's defended and everything. So I think just some things to be adjusted with there and everything as well, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's a spacing thing and whatever, just like with the whole team. So I think that there's things that go into there, but I could see that, you know, I don't feel like she's giving up everything, you know what I mean? I feel like she's pretty smart with her shot selection. I feel like she takes really good shots, and I feel like there's times where she has good looks in the games where it doesn't happen to go through. So like there's something there. I will say that. And also there's just times where her legs are dead because she's carrying so much on defense. You know, we have to have that conversation. And also because she had a long college season. So I feel like that's something there. Jose, child, he be trolling sometimes and stuff with the lineups that he has her in, because when she was first starting, she was only with that second unit. So I do feel like that is something important and worth noting on. But in general, I just feel like it's important that we kind of have the context for everything and the situation that she is in, what she's asked to carry defensively, and all those other things. So it's like 5 different things, honestly, I think. And then it's also just the thing of like, I feel like she's having a great season, like I said, with the situation. And I feel like sometimes people only talk about the negatives and then they don't talk about all the great things that she's doing. So I always try to preface everything with just talking about the positive things that she's doing for the team, the things that I like that she's doing. And like I said, she has the intangibles, and she just, you know, takes no possessions off. She plays her tail off. So just appreciating that and the records that she's breaking. So I try to uplift that first and foremost and everything as well. You know what I mean? She's still a rookie. She still has things to learn, but she's a really smart player. She's a talented player, and she's a hard worker. So I think that she will get there in time. And also with the FIBA break, I think that that's something that's really going to help her as well. You know, to finally be able to get some rest with her legs and everything as well. As her career goes on, we'll continue to see her progress and just, you know, do her thing. But I have all the confidence in the world for Azzi. I think that Azzi is a really talented player. And so, yeah, like it's an entire thing. But like I said, I'm always going to err on the side of positivity with Azzi because we know how talented she is. We know what she's capable of. I'm a huge fan, obviously, and everything. I think that she's having a really good season, and I'm trying to uplift that as much as I can with my reviews and my podcast and my highlights and stuff that I am posting. But I think that that's kind of where everything goes with the production conversation and everything. And that is part of it. And also, if we had like another kind of reliable third option, because Jessica Shepard, like she's decent and everything, but you know what I mean, like kind of like a small forward and everything. If we had that, I think that that's something that could kind of ease the burden for Paige and Azzi, just the way that they're guarded for one, and then for two, like another reliable option. So then the coverages and stuff would look different because again, they are not really guarding Enrique like that. They're not giving her double teams. They're not even guarding her one-on-one half the time because she's not making the shots. So yeah. A lot of stuff, but I think that's kind of my takeaway on that, and I really tried to wear this as best as I could and everything. Like I said, all love Azzi as a player, obviously. Always got to make 1,000 disclaimers, because I remember I had one critique of Paige in the games, and people were trying to tell me that I hate Paige. Like, no, again, check the resume. I'm repeating myself. But that's it on the production conversation, so that's there. But I spent a long time talking about the wings, again, like, so yeah, it's going to be hell editing. But now let's talk about All-Star. So basically, here's going to be all the All-Stars this season. So Aaliyah Boston, I feel like that was deserved. Paige Beckers, y'all know I love Paige down. We just talked about Paige, and she's going to be an All-Star starter. So this is all the starters I'm talking about. And then Caitlin, like, bro, it just gets to a point. Like, Caitlin's not even the best player on her own team. And then I also feel like their schedule, it was easy. So then she was able to stat pad and everything. So just the PR is like, it gets to a point. Because they try to say she's having a better season than Paige. So y'all know how I feel about her. I feel like she's a good player. She gets her numbers and everything. But her efficiency being in the gutter, her defense is terrible. And she's a very limited skill set and everything. And just the PR does not match what she actually be doing on the court, because they act like I'm getting on tangent. Natasha Howard had a good season, deserved. Olivia Miles, like, I understand it and everything. And like I said, like, the way that the media be covering everything also just kind of irritates me. Like I said, I feel like she's a good player. I feel like there is flaws in the game. But whenever you talk about that, then people jump you for having basketball conversations. And these are things that I've talked about in previous podcasts, talking about the links. And I'll talk about a little bit later, honestly. Kelsey Mitchell, deserved. Jessica Shepard, I feel like she had a stretch, and I didn't like the way she was playing, so I'm kind of like spotty on it. I don't know. I feel like reserve. I don't feel like starter, but that's my opinion as a Wings fan, because I've watched every game. Stewie, y'all know that was coming. Obviously, love Stewie down, and Gabby Williams. Okay, so shout out to Gabby. Obviously, Asia's going to be starting as well, so shout out to Asia. Okay, so now we go on to the reserves. Sonia, very well deserved, carrying a lot for the Mystics right now, of course. Alicia Gray, I feel like Alicia Gray was not deserved to be an all-star. I just feel like her recent games have just been terrible. I feel like her shot selection is terrible, and I feel like she's taking bad shots just to get to the free throw line and everything. Like, you have no chance in making those shots, and just the foul betting gets to a point. There was a game she had 15 free throws, and she missed, 5, 10 free throws? Like, it was ridiculous. You're going to do all this foul betting, make the free throws. You know what I mean? And just the jump shot being held, I don't know. I just haven't loved it. I don't feel like she should have been an all-star. That's my opinion. Ryan, I don't think Ryan should have been an all-star either. The inefficiency with Ryan and how inconsistent she is has to be talked about. I'm not forgetting the game when she went 2 for 16 from the field, and nobody's talking about this, but I will bring it up. I will bring it up because that was ridiculous. And then one of the shots she made was her stat padding. Like, are you kidding me, for one? And then also, I'm not going to forget that Fever game either. The first game, whenever she was playing all cowardly, like, I don't know. She's just so inefficient. She's so inconsistent. So I don't even know. I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling Ryan being an all-star either. And again, I don't know why she was with the guards when she's a small forward. A 6'2" guard, that's really, really rare territory to be in. It's one thing if it's like Juju, but like, it just gets to a certain point, like, not everyone can be a guard. I don't know. She's a small forward to me. Kiki Ariathan, sure. Jonquil Jones, I feel like she'd be coasting. I get it, but yeah, I'm not that moved at it. And then we have Marina Mabry. I feel like it's deserved. Like I said, she's had a great season. Dom, I guess I could see it. You know what I mean? NECA, you know, she's had good numbers this season from what I've seen. Kelsey Plum, love Kelsey Plum down. I don't know if she'll get to play in the game because of the injuries and stuff, but I love Kelsey Plum. When she was healthy, she was great. Then we had Angel, you know, love Angel down. Y'all know that. So I feel like she deserved to be a starter. You know, I will die on that hill. Courtney Williams, from what I've seen, she had a good season. Y'all know I'm not fond of Courtney Williams, but I can give credit where it's due, for one. And for two, this was way more deserved than her All-Star last season. That All-Star last season was BS. That was not deserved. I'm sorry. Like, her production did not warrant that All-Star, and I'll stand on that. And then we had Jackie Young. So I'm glad Jackie Young was an all-star because I feel like she had a good season. And then with the fan voting, I thought she wasn't going to be there. So there's that for one. And then for two, I do feel like Azzi should have been an all-star this season. Obviously, talked ad nauseum just about her role, how important she is to the team. We don't have the record that we have without her and everything. I feel like people aren't talking about her season partially because they don't care about defense. You know what I mean? And she's doing that, and people act like her offensive production is bad, and it's not. We're still averaging 13 points per game. I feel like she should have been there. I feel like she was snubbed. So that just pissed me off. You know what I mean? That was the biggest thing. Ryan and Alicia, I feel like, did not deserve to be there, and I feel like Angel should have been a starter. Those are the biggest takeaways that I had. You know what I mean? So that's kind of my takeaways. I'll still catch the All-Star game, and I'll give you guys a review of the game and tell you guys how I'm feeling about it. But just yet again, Azzi snub. So I remember when I saw it in real time and I read through everything, and then I realized she wasn't there. So I was very irritated. Now going on to Atlanta. Okay, so I'm going to talk about their last 3 games and kind of just giving overall thoughts. So they had a game against the Mystics. This was on July 2nd, and they literally lost to the Mystics without Sonya, by the way. The Mystics went 81-76. Okay, so the big 3 stats in this game: Angel had 18 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Ryan, 19 points, 4 rebound, 2 assists, 4 steal, 2 block. Alicia Gray, 22 points, 3 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. Jordan Canada, 14, 9, and 8. So that was the stats there. The Mystics, Shakira Legacy game, 30 minutes played, 21 points, 9 rebound, 3 assists. Flores having 13 points. I didn't remember this. Kiki, 14 and 10. Amor, 11 points. Okay. So overall takeaways on this. The fact that they lost to the Mystics without Sonya is absolutely insane. I still can't believe that this happened, for one. And so the fact also that the Mystics had 28 turnovers in the game, and they still win the game. Like, Atlanta did not make them pay enough for those turnovers. And I feel like part of the reason why they were doing well in the first half was because they kept turning it over. And then the second half, they didn't turn it over as much. You know what I mean? So, yeah. And then, like I said, they didn't make them pay enough for that. They were being more aggressive on defense the first half. Half-court offense is still terrible. I go through this every single game. They don't get each other involved enough again. It's too much ISO. It's standing beyond the arc and passing it around instead of cutting. Like, you're a guard. Why don't you know how to cut? Why don't you know how to move off the basketball? That's a problem. Ryan logo 3 at the ends, and that entire possession, one of the worst possessions I've seen in the W. So, like, that was a problem, obviously. They don't feed the post enough. They don't involve Angel early in the game. Every single time Angel has a run in the game, Carl subs her out for some reason. Nas Hillman is terrible defensively, and if her shot's not going, then the team is fucked. I don't know why he started Coney in this game. That was a joke. Like I said, second half, Mystics locked in. They stopped turning it over so much, and they just had good possession after good possession. Dream's defense was terrible in the second half. They got killed in transition in this game. They got out-rebounded. They kept fouling and sending them to the free throw line. So yeah, there was some questionable calls in this game, like Lauren fouling Angel, and it was called on Angel. I don't understand that. Again, the Dream doesn't play like a team. They don't help out Angel. And so, I mean, that game just really pissed me off, because how do you lose to the Mystics without Sonya? I don't understand. And then we had them going against the Valkyries on 4th of July of all days. So Valkyries win this game 88-83. Okay, so there's that. And so the stats for the big 3 in this game: Alicia Gray, she played 36 minutes. She had 22 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, no block. 29% from the field, mind you, okay? A shot chucker. Angel, she played 35 minutes, 17 points, 13 rebounds, her double-double. 3 assists, 2 steal, no block. Ryan, 37 minutes played. She had 19 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, no steal, 1 block. For the Valks, Gabby Williams with 19, Veronica Byrne with 21. So my overall takeaways on this one: basically, this was a winnable game. They choked at the end like they have been, and there was definitely some questionable stuff with the officiating in the first half for sure, and stuff that should have been called in the Dream's favor. But at the end, in the second half, it was ironed out, and the Dream had more free throws, and then they still choked because they missed 10 free throws in the game. Like, that was very winnable, and then that's what you do. I don't understand why Medina Okot doesn't get more minutes in the games. Generally, Ryan and Leash are allowed to be construction workers, but Medina or Angel makes one mistake and they get subbed out. Same stuff from the last game I complained about. They were in the bonus at the end, and you were chucking threes instead of getting at the paint and getting to the free throw line, and their defense was terrible. You know, another winnable game, and you choke it. And I think they lost this one at home too, by the way. And then the last game I'll talk about today is the Storm game. They win this game 89-78, so their first win, because they had a 5-game losing streak before this, by the way, so we had that. Okay, so I think that what happened, why they win this game, they came out engaged defensively. You know, that was a big part, you know, because I feel like their defense wasn't strong throughout the whole game. So I think you had that. And I do feel like generally they leave the paint open way too much. I don't know why he always has them on the perimeter, because how many backdoor cuts do they give up in the games? I don't understand. I don't understand why he plays Angel on the perimeter when she's at her best defending and playing in the paint. I don't get that either. Half-court offense is still a mess. I feel like they played better in the first half. They kind of made some more mistakes in the second half, you know what I mean? And part of the reason they win is the Storm had 23 turnovers. So that was my takeaways there. They did play a game after this, but Angel did not play. And so if you're new here, when Angel does not play, when Paige does not play, Azzi doesn't play, Sarah, like any of my favorite players, I do not watch the games. I do not watch the games. Now, for Dallas this year, it'll be different because if Paige doesn't play, but Azzi's playing, I'm going to watch the game. If both of them were to not play, I'm not going to watch the game. But if one of them's not playing, I like the other player, so I'm going to watch. But yeah, like I hate watching the Dream already. And that's with Angel playing and everything that Angel provides because, like, I just feel like they don't get her involved enough and all the same stuff that I complain about. But then without Angel, like, I wasn't watching that. And they lost to the Portland Fire without her, so of course. It's just the same things about Carl blaming everyone but himself and everything. He said we didn't make enough shots. We're not talking about the half-court offense. We're not talking about the fact that they don't be consistent with the defense. We're not talking about the fact that Ryan Howard and Alicia Gray will never take you to the promised land. When you watch these games, you understand why they were eliminated in the first round. And Alicia Gray literally said that, I never want to feel that feeling again. Well, you don't play like it. And they do all this chirping and all this arguing with fans when fans say stuff about them during the games and just talk about basketball, which I feel like is fair game for one. And y'all talking a lot for people who haven't won anything in the W and who haven't even got out the first round. So why are we talking? Why are we talking? And that's why they went on a 5-game losing streak after that, because it gets to a point for me. So yeah, the Dream, the same stuff I always complain about. I really don't enjoy watching the games. I'm only there for Angel. So yeah, today she might play, she might not. I hope she doesn't because I need a break from this team, but she's a game time decision. So I'm trying to get this podcast done in case she does play, but also just for time's sake. Let's talk about the Liberty. So they had 5 games since my last episode. We're also going to speed run this. Okay. So they played the Aces on June 30th. This was the Commissioner Cup game. They won 93-85. Important things to note, Stewie had 25 points, 11 rebound, 4 assists, 2 steal, 2 block, double-double, 56%. Sabrina, 31 minutes played, 26 points, 5 rebound, 5 assists, no steal, no block, 47%. Anastasia, 15, 5 and 4. Jonquel, 9, 9, 3. Jonquel's terrible, 16% from the floor. So yeah, my overall takeaways on this game, the Liberty shot better in this game, rebounded more second chance points, more free throws capitalized. Sabrina and Stewie were great. This was finally Sabrina's game where she showed up, because every game it's 5 of 12, 4 of 12, or whatever. I was waiting for a game where she was just hot from the field, and she was. So they were great. Azzi at 15 was a team effort. Satu is still needed, you know what I mean? But yeah, Benija not playing was dumb. I don't know why he subs out Stewie and Sabrina at the same time. He let the Aces back in the game with that. I don't know why he plays Azzi and Marina at the same time. It's terrible defense, and his rotations make no sense. I just feel like the coaching is bad. They don't play confident. They second-guess themselves a lot. I feel like he don't get Stewie going early. And part of the reason why they win this game, Asia didn't play. They only won by 8 points, so that's also concerning for me. Jackie with the 31 piece. So yeah, they had kind of played better, but I didn't take it seriously because Asia didn't play. Because if Asia would have played, they could have lost. And then on July 3rd, they played the Lynx. So they won this game 99-86. Okay, and so things that you need to know for this basketball game right here. Stewie, she was great. She played 36 minutes, 36 points. She had 7 rebounds, no assists, no steal, 2 blocks, 73% from the field. Sabrina, did enough. 35 minutes played. She had 17 points, 2 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, 41% from the field. Jonquel, 33 minutes played. She had 14 points, 15 rebound, double-double. 5 assists, 2 steal, no block, 50% from the field. And then for the Lynx, Olivia Miles, she played 26 minutes, 14 points, 5 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, no block, 31% from the field. Pretty sure she shot my sister's birthday, 5 for 16. We will get there. McBride, 33 minutes played, 18 points, 1 rebound, 1 assist, 3 steal, no block, 43% from the field. And Courtney Williams, 25 minutes played, 16 points, 5 rebound, 3 assists, no steal, no block, 53% from the field. Okay. So now on to my overall takeaways on this matchup. I got what I came for. After the whole Jumbotron situation with the Lynx, I never want them to win any game. So I'm always rooting for the other team that they're playing to beat them. It is what it is. And y'all knew that. Y'all knew that because I took up Liberty FC, okay? So yeah, I think that this was one of the best games I've seen the Liberty play the entire season. I feel like they played much more confident. They finally looked like they played together actually before. I thought that they did a great job sharing the ball and getting Stewie going early. I always complained about that in the games. They got her involved, They got Sabrina involved. JJ had double figures. She did just enough. Ashley had a good game. The Lynx had no answer for Stewie. 36 balls. She absolutely lit them up. They could not guard her in the paint. So Stewie was so great in this game. I really loved her performance offensively, defensively. Defensively, I think one of the things that they did that helped them win the game is the length really bothered them. Okay, with Olivia, it's an entire thing of when you put Stewie on, Jonquel on, Leonie Fibich in this game, I think was big. Then she had like 19 in this game. They were making Olivia take jump shots, okay, and she's not confident in her jump shot, and she was missing them. And also, whenever she was driving and stuff, they got a couple blocks. Sabrina blocked her, Stewie blocked her twice, somebody else blocked her. So yeah, I just think that they did a really good job protecting the rim, making her take shots that she didn't want to take. She was second guessing everything. They were making her have to give the ball up, just like the threat of them standing there in front of them. Like, she was hesitating a lot, you know what I mean? So I thought that their defense on her was really, really good. And so, yeah, like I said, the guards can't defend, so the bigs had to kind of switch out. And so I think that they did well with that. And then also, can we talk about the fact that she kept trying to aura check Sabrina? When she took that 3 over her, like, what were you doing? What were you doing? Like, I don't even understand why you would do that. And then she fouled her, and then she was talking shit, and she thought that she got the block. Like, no, Sabrina made both of those free throws. Like, child, like, let's act like we've been somewhere before. Also, I feel like the Liberty had Natasha Howard in hell. Like, she played a terrible game. She really did. So yeah, like every time she got to the basket, she wasn't scoring when she had easy looks. They made everything contested and everything. Also, they cut off the pick and roll. The Lynx like to run that a lot, and they were not letting them get to where they wanted to get to with that. So that was big. Liberty still got killed on offensive rebounding and second chance points, but they did enough. Again, their guard defense is terrible. I feel like with the game, starting lineup came in and they played well. And then he subbed in Marine, messed everything up, and then they had to get it back. But yeah, and then the lineup with the bench was terrible. It's what the fans wanted to see. It's an encouraging win. I feel like with the Lynx, Olivia kind of shot them out of the game when you go 5 of 16. Like, she was just taking bad shots, and I feel like whenever she's subbed out, that's when the ball starts moving. You know what I mean? I feel like she only passes when she gets double teams. You know what I mean? And as the point guard, like, your job is to get everybody involved throughout the game, and I don't feel like she'd be doing that. You know what I mean? Just too much ball hogging. And so yeah, absolutely not. Like, so I feel like they played better without her in the game, to be honest, and like that's when they had a moment there.
Also, I feel like she doesn't really have a bag. Like, she's not confident in her jump shot. Like, she can hit them sometimes, but I feel like it's something that she's hesitant to do. So I feel like they did a good job of like making her like take those and stuff, and also contesting her looks at the basket. And then to be feeling like in this league, like, you can't really play defense like the way that you did like last season and like all that other stuff. And obviously, like, there's a level of physicality that I don't like, and I've discussed this before. But I mean, it's just like every time like certain people be driving to the basket, it's automatically free throws, even when they don't even put a hand on them. So like not understanding those things. And again, also, I just like the conversations around her and stuff. Like, I don't know, be Caitlin Clark as the way that she acts, be Caitlin Clark as, but whenever you point that out, like, people get mad. But I don't even know. Like I said, I'm just not an Olivia Miles fan. Like I said, I think she's a good player. I think that there's flaws with her game, and I don't think that she's a number one option on the team. And I just haven't really enjoyed her game since college. And then in the league, just the way that everything's been, the conversations, the discourse, it's just like people can't have objective and balanced conversations anymore. And like a lot of players, like, there's no nuance. You're either all in or you're all out. And I feel like that can exist, but that's something that I definitely wanted to add about her specifically.
Like I said, Natasha Howard was terrible. Their defense was terrible. They literally shot Halloween from 3 in the game. No exaggeration. They had more possessions, but a lot of them didn't really go anywhere. Cheryl Reeve timeouts did nothing. So yeah, I feel like the Liberty played a really good game. I was really happy with that. Okay, next game that we had from the Liberty, we had them taking on us, which I already talked about. We won 88-77, so we already discussed that. Then they took on the Lynx again on July 11th. Okay, so Lynx won this game 90-85. And so what you need to know about this game is that Stewie in this game, 37 minutes, she had 17 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 1 block, 43% from the field. Double and tripled her the whole game. I'll talk about that. Jonquel, 33 minutes played, had 15 points, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, no steal, 1 block, 45% from the field. Sabrina, 35 minutes played, 25 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steal, no block, and 45% from the field. For the Lynx, Olivia, 32 minutes played, 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, 37%. McBride, 25, 4, 2, and 4 steal. Natasha Howard, better game, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steal, no block. Courtney Williams, terrible game. Didn't she shoot my grandma's birthday in this one? 12 rebounds, 12 assists, but double. Overall takeaways on the second matchup, it was a very winnable game, but the Liberty just didn't do what they needed to do at the end. Also, Sabrina was hot in the third. I don't know why he subbed her out at the top of the fourth with JJ for multiple minutes. It really killed the momentum that they had. Again, Stewie triple team, so they made her have to take a lot of difficult shots, and they made her have to pass up the ball. So, you know, after the way that she killed them the first time, I understand, but yeah, that's kind of what happened there. JJ coasting yet again, nothing new. He has no confidence in Benajolani Hamilton, so that's frustrating. I don't know why Marine was playing in the fourth quarter. He wasn't serious. They definitely missed Leone and Satu in this matchup for sure. When you give up 14 threes, I mean, their perimeter defense was terrible, so you can't, praise that. Natasha Howard feasted in the post. Guard defense still sucks. They got out-rebounded. They turned over the basketball too many times. And I just think that the Lynx came out hungry. I think that they locked in on defense, and they did what they needed to do. So Liberty had opportunities, but they choked it at the end. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where it comes down to at the end of the day. Every time you need Jonquel to take over, she doesn't. And then the last game that they played at the time of recording this episode, we had them taking on the Tempo, okay? So this was literally yesterday, July 12th. So Tempo went 93-91. Things you need to know for this game right here, the big three. Sabrina played 33 minutes, had 28 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 3 still no block, 50% from the field. Were efficient. Stewie, 34 minutes played, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 2 steal, 2 assists, 1 block, 38%. Again, the double and triple team came. Jonquel, 31 minutes played, a double-double with 10 and 10. Again, we coasted, and 1 block, 37%. It gets to a point. Marina lit them up. She had 30 points, 2 rebounds, and 5 assists. Okay, so she did her thing. And so, takeaways on this game, it was fun. I really wanted to see Marina and Sabrina go band for band, bucket for bucket, and 8. So, Marina with 2 shootouts with Paige and with Sabrina, I got what I came for, so I really love that. They both scored on each other. I don't know why they were guarding each other. They both can't play defense, but hey, that was good food for me. So, they both did their thing. I feel like the Liberty played awful at the beginning, you know what I mean? And I feel like the Tempo was capitalizing off of that, and they got off to a hot start. I feel like when he subbed in Niger, that kind of settled them down. Like I said, Marina fried them in the game. They got killed in transition in this game. They gave up, 28 points in transition, something like that. I don't even know, but they gave up a lot of transition points. I can't remember the numbers because I don't have them in front of me. And so I just feel like they never get the rebounds when it matters. You have all these top players, but you can't rebound. I don't understand that. They shot the 3 terribly in this game, so it really hurt them. And Tempo got a 20-point lead in this game because when Sabrina got hot in this game, he literally sat her. And I don't understand why he did that again. He made the same mistake twice because we just went through this with the Lynx game. His bench lineup where Marine was the number 1 option also killed them. That was a terrible lineup. Why are you running that? I don't know why she's playing in the fourth again. Anastasia made backbreaking mistakes. We had like 2 backbreaking turnovers in the fourth quarter. We can't do that even though she did have 15. JJ just coast again. Sabrina and Stewie literally did everything that they could in this game. So I feel like this loss for the most part really isn't on them. Like I said, Sabrina defense terrible, but offensively she did her job for 1. And then Stewie, I already mentioned the coverages, but she still walked away with 22 and she still got herself to the free throw line. And people were hating on her for missing the shot at the end. That was a very difficult shot. You know what I mean? And Stewie's going to do whatever she can. How many times has she put this team on her back to win the game? I feel like some people are very ungrateful for Stewie and her contributions, which I don't understand because you're not getting the championship, okay? People are pitting Stewie and Sabrina against each other. Let's be real, you're not getting that championship without Stewie, like I just said. Stewie is a great all-time player. Like, let's be for real. Like, I'm not even going to get into it, but let's not even do that. So, there's kind of that. The Tempo just did what they needed to do. They got it done in the fourth quarter. They locked in. Niar Sabli's layup was definitely something that was big. I felt like the Liberty couldn't get stops. His rotation really killed them at the game. So, yeah, I still have fun, but that's kind of what happened in the game. So there's that.
Okay, so I forgot to kind of record my thoughts about the Liberty and where they are right now and all that stuff and give the recap. So basically, they lost their last 3 games at the time of recording this, and then also at the time of recording this, the Dallas Wings and Liberty game has been postponed. And I'm so upset because I was supposed to go today, you know what I mean? And I still will go Monday because I live here, thankfully. But it's just not going to be the same, you know what I mean? And then it's going to be on a back-to-back as well. So I'm irritated by the whole situation. So, like, there's that. But it's just kind of the same things about how Stewie really is the only reliable player on this team. And like I said, I do like Sabrina, but it's a lot of similar things that I say about Enrique, just in the fact that she is streaky and inconsistent, and about how Stewie bails her out a lot. I appreciate that she tries on defense, but her defense is terrible. So yeah, it's just you never know what you're going to get out of her. Like, she can have a good game or she can have a bad game, but just like not knowing and not having that consistency there. I mean, how late are we into the career at this point? It's still not first team all W. I just think that's kind of where the problems arise. I can appreciate at least that when her shot's not falling, she finds other ways to contribute, but it just happens too often in the games, you know what I mean? So that's why the coverages on Stewie are the way that they are. And again, the discourse was Stewie against Sabrina. That was some of the dumbest stuff I've ever read this week. So yeah, Jonquil just often coast in these games, so you have that. Back to Stewie again with her being the only reliable one, asking her to bring up the ball a lot. She's carrying on defense because Jonquil isn't interested. She's the number one option. Like there's just a lot on her, and again, that's why the coverages are there. And then Marine, I don't know why he believes in her so much and plays so many minutes. Sawtooth's dealing with a concussion, so I wish her the best in the recovery with those things, and it's really scary. So I don't know when she's to be back. They don't know the whole situation about what's wrong with Leonie Fibich, so to be determined about that. Azzi can have her moments, but I don't know. I think you pair an elite guard next to Sabrina, so you have that. Bet Nigel, they're probably trading her. I forgot to mention that whole shoe situation that happened in the game where Bet Nigel basically said she was trying to throw the shoe back to Jonquil because she lost her shoe in the game. It went at Marina, and so there was a little bit of discourse with that. She said it wasn't intentional. Marina said she doesn't believe it was intentional, and there was something that got posted with Sabrina's new shoe, and I think she was like, "Oh, can you throw me one?" Like making a little joke at it. So I think that that's funny, and I appreciate Marina for that. So yeah, like I think they're just dealing with a lot of injuries, so they're never fully healthy and stuff, and like just someone's always hurt. So I think that that's part of it. I think his coaching and his rotations are bad. I feel like he has no real feel for the game in the games, and it's just so obvious with the decisions that he makes. I think he's lost him a lot of games with his rotation, subbing Sabrina out when she's hot and subbing her and Stewie out at the same time, her and Jonquil out at the same time. I think that their defense just isn't where it needs to be. Quite frankly, their guards can't defend, so their post players often have to pick up the slack for that and everything, and they're just not consistent. Some games I feel like they play good and stuff, and some games I feel like they don't. Some games I feel like their half-court offense is broken. But yeah, I feel like generally Chris DeMarco does need to be fired. I feel like he's a terrible coach and everything. But I don't know. It's just kind of like they're a hard team to evaluate because I felt like that Lynx game was one of the best games that they played all season and stuff. And then they have other moments where they don't look great, and then Sawtooth's out. So someone was always hurt. Bad coaching. Stewie has to carry ineptitude. So I don't even know, but he's got to go after the season for me. So we'll kind of see what happens when they play us again. That's been delayed and everything. I think that we have a good chance to be on top because we're fully healthy and with all the injuries that they're dealing with and stuff. But we will be coming off a back-to-back, which is different for us. So let me know what you guys think, but that's kind of my thoughts on where the Liberty are right now. And so they got to decide who they want to be as a team because Chris DeMarco's not going to help get them over the finish line, that's for sure.
Now we go into the last segment, which is going to be my bonus game, okay? So we had the Mystics taking on the Storm the other day. Ultimately, Mystics win 84-79. This is the first game I'm actually going to go through in detail this week. So what you need to know, Sonia was great. She played 33 minutes, 19 points in this one, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, 3 steal, no block, 53.8% from the field, 7 for 13 shooting, 1 of 4 from 3, 4 or 5 free throw, 3 turnover, 2 personal fouls, 62.5% true shooting. Sonia had it all. She was turning around. She was fading away, hitting hard shots at the basket. That 1-3 that she had, where Shakira gave her that skip pass, beautiful pass, perfect anticipation, perfect 3, one of my favorite plays of the game, playing her tail off on defense. Yeah, Sonia did her thing, and I do like Sonia a lot. So shout out to her. Kiki played 29 minutes, had 12 points, 13 rebound, a double-double, 3 assists, 1 steal, no block, 40% from the field, 4 for 10 shooting, 1 of 1 from 3, 3 for 5 free throw, no turnover, 2 personal foul, and 49.2% true shooting. So yeah, had her moments, probably easy bunny or 2 that she missed, but, we did enough. We rebounded well, which was really key, and also I feel like her defense on Awa was really good. You know what I mean? She was making her have to take some difficult shots, and so I thought that she did her part. So shout out to Kiki. Shakira was really player of the game. She played 33 minutes, had 27 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, 55.6% from the field, 10 for 18 shooting, 2 of 4 from 3, 5 for 7 free throw, 3 turnover, 2 bursts of about 64% true shooting. I'm going to forget about this, so I'll say it now. There was one possession where she dribbled into oblivion, and then that was a turnover. I don't know why she was dribbling that much. There's no need to do that. But generally, she had a lot of tough shots, a lot of and ones. She had a couple threes in this game. She was doing everything. So this was a big game for her, so shout out to her. Everyone else, I mentioned Lauren earlier, but she played 16 minutes in this game. 11 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steal, 1 block, 50% from the field. Good food, okay? How many deflections was Lauren able to get in this game and forcing jump balls and getting tough shots? That one when she hit that shot, was it kind of like a mid-range or something? It was closer to the basket, but the no hesitation for that was huge because at UCLA, she would hesitate with those shots. So her knocking that down confidently, not thinking about it was huge. Able to get some really tough shots out the basket. Awa was food. Awa was food in that game, child. Lauren did her thing on her. So yeah, I just feel like Lauren had a lot of clutch plays. I feel like Lauren has the heart of a champion. I feel like Lauren's a really good player. And I said this, and I was devastated at the fact that Cheryl Reeve did not select her with the 2nd pick in the draft because the intangibles that she had, you cannot teach. And I'm going to do a video about this on my account someday, just about how much do intangibles matter. But basically, I feel like intangibles matter just as much, if not more, than your raw talent and skill level. That's what's going to get you through. I think Lauren has that. I think she's a winner. I think her defense was really good too. So she did a little bit of everything. So I was really pleased with Lauren in this game. So shout out to her. Flores, 18 minutes played, 4 points, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, 20% from the field. Flores cannot deal with the physicality of this league. The processing, the decision-making is terrible. Her defense is terrible. She'd be looking lost out there. I hate the minutes. They need to get a real point guard because this isn't it. And then, again, you have Sonya playing the 1, the 2, and the 3 because you didn't get a point guard. You didn't get a shooting guard, okay? So it's just putting more on Sonya. So I do not like her minutes. Cody McMahon, 14 minutes played, 4 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, no block, 33% from the field. Yeah, it gets to a point. All she knows is drive layup. I swear to God. Like, bro. Georgia, 22 minutes played. She had 4 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, no block, 28% from the field. Same things that I said about Flores apply here. Defense is bad. We're not making enough shots. The anticipation, like, I do not like Georgia A more minutes. I really don't. Like, they got to move on. Michaela Onyewer, she played 24 minutes, no points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, no steal, 1 block, 0% from the floor. So, yeah, got in foul trouble in this game, so that's why she didn't play more minutes. But she had some key moments for them in the game, so I'll give her that. Prosper, 10 minutes played, 3 points, no rebound, 1 assist, no steal, no block, 50% from the field. Cassandra Prosper in this league called a JLo concert ticket because I'm not buying it. Dugalich, 2 minutes played and had nothing. And then everyone else who did not play, you can see that. Under the storm, Natisha Heineman, 33 minutes played, 31 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steal, and no block, 58.3% from the field, 14 for 24 shooting, 2 of 5 from 3, 1 for 1 free throw. The 4 turnovers backbreaking. You know, I can't defend that. 1 personal foul, 63.4% shooting. For the most part, had a great game. You know, she really did her thing. So shout out to her because she hit a lot of tough shots. They could not guard her. You know what I mean? So yeah, kind of went cold at the end, but she did her thing. Dom, she played 22 minutes, 10 points, 15 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steal, 2 block, 40% from the field, 4 for 10 shooting, 0-1 from 3, 2 for 2 free throw, 4 turnover, 5 personal foul, and 46% true shooting. The decision making, you know what I mean? I just feel like there's just some times where she hesitates or there's some times where she makes some bad shots. I feel like her anticipation on defense is, you know, kind of a step behind. I'll give her credit for the 2 steals and the 2 blocks, but so many times she fouled. She had 5 personal fouls in this game and is sending them to the free throw line. So I think she's just got to be better at putting it all together. I feel like the touch and stuff from like mid-range and stuff, it's not there consistently. A lot of her stuff is at the basket and stuff. I feel like she got to put on some muscle and stuff because she be getting bullied, especially in the paint. So yeah, just stuff to work on. You know, I think that she has some good traits and stuff, but yeah, there's just really questionable moments in the game. And then we talk about Alwa. She played 32 minutes. She had 5 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, no steal, 2 blocks, 22.2% from the field, 2 for 9 shooting, 1 of 6 from 3, no free throws, 3 turnover, 2 bursts of all, 27.8% true shooting. And so the thing with Alwa is just like the fundamentals don't be there. This is one of her higher rebounding games, but generally from the games I've seen, I feel like she doesn't rebound well. She always sets those fake screens, so I don't even know what she's doing there. Her defense is terrible. Like, you know, and they're going to say 2 blocks. That's 2 possessions in the game. Like, if you watch. And then there was that moment when she had the, what is it called? Like, she was trying to inbound it, and then that was a turnover and everything. Times where she's late to contest and everything as well. Also, let's talk about the fact that she basically refuses to go in the paint. She had 1 basket in the paint, I think, the entire game. Everything was from the midi, everything was from the free. Again, I'm going to bring this up, but the fact you're 6'3", you're 6'4", you're a post player, and you refuse to, and you don't have post-up skills also, is a big problem for me. You know what I mean? You just have to make her post up. Make her get in the paint. She's not going to do it. She's not going to do that. She's going to try to fade away, fade away, fade away. So those things are a problem. I just don't feel like she's a fundamentally sound player. Like I said, I feel like she is generational PR, and people disagree with me, but it is what it is. Like, I feel so strong in this opinion, I do not like to take, because she was doing anything in this game, and so was Dawn, bro, at this point. At least Dawn got double figures, though. Flage, 31 minutes played, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 4 steal, no block, 22.2% from the field, 2 for 9 shooting, 0-2 from 3, 5 for 6 free throw, 2 turnover, 2 bursts of foul, 38.7% shooting. The thing with Flage, I think, is the decision making for me. You know what I mean? I just feel like she lets them speed her up too much, and she's going and she's taking really bad shots, so I feel like she has to do a better job of just not letting herself get sped up. And she's a rookie, so I'll try to get some grace with that and everything. But yeah, also, no shade. I feel like she got to get in the gym after the season. Every day, every day, every day. Work on the bag, work on being consistent, work on getting that production up, you know, because there's times when she has good looks and they don't go in. But yeah, I think that's just the biggest thing, you know, you're letting them speed you up, you know, and she has moments on defense, I'll give her that, but yeah, her production has just been bad, you know. I didn't expect it to be like this in the league, and I still feel like she can be a good player, but the production, it's just really bad. She's shooting in the 30s from the field this season. Everyone else, Melbourne, 30 minutes played, 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists, 1 steal, no block, 42% from the field. And Horston, 15 minutes played, 4 points, 3 rebound, no assists, 1 steal, no block, 50%. Holmes, 2 points, 3 rebounds. Cook, 3 points, 1 rebound. Steph Dolson, 14 minutes and 3 points, 1 rebound. She needs to retire, I'm sorry. Samuelson, 12 minutes played, 3 points. She had 1 3 that she should have taken. She hesitated on that. I don't know why. Azzi did not play. She's out with, I think, like a facial injury, so I wish her the best. Thierry did not play, and Mare's out as a developmental player. So that was everyone for both teams. Now we go on to the box score. First quarter is going to be 21-18. Second quarter 21-22. Third quarter 23-24, and fourth quarter 11-20. Mystics win this game 84-79. Biggest lead, Storm had a 9 lead in the first, and Mystics had a 6 lead in the fourth. Now runs, Mystics had a 14-4 run in the second. Storm had a 16-5 run in the third, and the Mystics had a 19-6 run in the third to the fourth. Now best player streaks, we had Anastasia Heineman with 7, okay, and then we had Sonia with 8. Head-to-head metrics, Mystics shot 31 for 72 from the field, so they shot pretty similar, 43.1%, and then the Storm were 30 or 70 from the field, 42.9%. Mystics shot 5 for 19 from the three-point line, 26.3%, so terrible. They also shot the same, 5 for 19 for the Storm. From the free throw line, Mystics shot 17 for 23, 73.9%. Storm 14 for 18, 77.8%. Mystics 15 turnover, and then the Storm had 20, which was backbreaking. They both turned it over way too much for my liking. They got out-rebounded. The Mystics only had 40 rebounds to the Storm's 51. So the fact that they got out-rebounded still won is something. Mystics with 23 assists, Storm with 12, 3 blocks, Storm with 4, 23 defensive rebounds, Storm with 27. 9 offensive rebounds, Storm was 16. 24 points off turnovers to the Storm's 18. 38 points in the paint to the Storm's 48. 2 fast breaker transition points to the Storm's 15. 18 second chance points to the Storm's 12. 10 steals to the Storm's 12, and then you had 17 personal fouls to the Storm's 25. Okay, so this is why I don't read stats like that, because that was a mouthful. Basically, my overall thoughts, I feel like Sonya did her thing. You know what I mean? Offensively, defensively, I was really pleased with Sonya's performance. She does so much for this team, and that cannot go understated. And I wanted to watch this game because I wanted to watch Sonya play. Because when she doesn't play, I really don't care to watch her games. And last year, I didn't really care to watch her games. But this year, I'm kind of more enticed. You know, I think they're a little bit more interesting. Kiki did her thing, you know, on defense, and I really appreciated that and had some good moments offensively. Shakira Legacy game, she lit them up. Like I said, Dom, the process is not there. Can't deal with physicality. There's some stuff that you can learn, and there's some stuff that's innately there. So we'll see what happens. Like I said, Awa, I just think fundamentally there's just some things that she doesn't have. She's not fundamentally sound. I talked about that. I'm not an Awa shooter. Another reason why the Storm don't win, I mean, you only have 2 people in double figures in this game, so I mean, that you're not going to win with that, you know what I mean? And I feel like the Mystics did a really good job of getting to the paint early and getting to the free throw line, you know? And I feel like Seattle adjusted in the second half, but their decision-making really cost them this game. They took so many bad shots, okay? And there were just times where they hesitated, and it's just like, what are you doing there? What are you doing? There's just times where you can see that they don't know what they're doing. And then also, when you have 20 turnovers, I mean, it's going to cost you as well. And I just feel like the Mystics had more balanced scoring. You had like 4 people in double figures. I feel like they played better defense, and they just played more like a team. You know, the Mystics still have problems with personnel. They need a point guard at this point. Like, it's just there. And you need a shooter. Because, again, put Sonya back at the 3 and let her play the 3 full time instead of having her overcompensate. Quadruple overtime, I was going to watch that game, but that game was going to be like 3 hours. I was not going to get into that. So yeah, I think the Mystics can be fun to watch, but they're going to be stuck in perpetual mediocrity because they're never good enough to make the playoffs, but they're not bad enough to get a number 1 pick. They need a number 1 pick. You keep having number 3, number 4, like they need a number 1. They need to make some trades. They need to make something happen. The Storm, they're a young team, you know what I mean? Also, I feel like Sonia Ramon cannot coach, so I feel like that's just something that was a given. So yeah, they both definitely have stuff to work on, but the Mystics is the better team. You know, the Storm, it gets to a point for me. This guard play, this post play, like you don't have one elite post player on that team who can do everything. That's the problem. So yeah, it was an enjoyable game though. It was an enjoyable game, so that's kind of my takeaways, and I wanted to bring back this segment with bonus games. I don't know if I'll do it every week, but I haven't done it for the last 3-4 weeks, which is also why I was trying to cut down on my Dallas time, but I still talked about them for like 15 minutes anyways. But I had to talk about 5 games, so that was part of it. So that was my takeaways there. So that's kind of my takeaways for the WNBA this week. The recap, like I said, I feel like I could do a better job watching other teams and games. The reason I just don't like the matchups. I go over this every week, but I want to try to put out more things, and I also feel like it depends on the year, because last year I really didn't care to watch the Fever. This year I'll watch them more. You know, I still have my problems with them and everything, but I think that they can be entertaining to watch. I don't like the Mercury. So some teams I'll watch for specific matchups and everything, but some teams I just don't like to watch. So there's that and everything. I forgot to say this earlier, but Chris DeMarco is a terrible coach. He obviously should be fired. You know what I mean? I get people's criticisms with Jose. I would like to see him have a better roster. I don't think that he's a terrible coach though. The Mystics coach child still on fraud watch. This GMing was terrible by him, and yeah. Also forgot to talk about this, but I'm literally wearing my Page All-Star jersey and everything for today and everything. I always try to wear something basketball related. I'm kind of running out of stuff, no shade. So we have those things. So I wanted to share that. Also, something important worth noting, I got a copy of The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. This is a great book. This is a great book, okay, and I just finished reading it, so I wanted to buy it, but if you've never read that book, you should. So I've started to get back into reading. It's a really great story. I don't want to spoil it and everything. If you're going to read the book, make sure that you finish it, and then you tell other people who've read the book about it, because, ooh, the book's literally fine. But I literally had a friend I was talking to about the book. I got 2 spoilers, but it's a life-changing book. Really loved it. I thought it was great. So wanted to kind of recommend that and everything. I'm getting more into reading, so wanted to talk about that. Song of the week, I just feel like I've been listening to kind of the same stuff, like a lot of Olivia Rodrigo and everything, so there's that. Shout out to Trinity and Bryce for winning Love Island, things that we wanted to see. Didn't talk about this weeks ago, but literally the fact that the Spurs lost the NBA Finals and choking that 29-point lead was crazy. So that's kind of some housekeeping and everything. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this episode, though. Let me know what you guys think down below of the format and stuff, of the length of the episodes, things that you guys would like me to cover. Still trying to find ways to make it interesting and everything. Also with the timing, you know, I try to have these out once a week, but then it's kind of tricky with Dallas games and trying to figure out when I'm free to record the episodes, and it's an entire thing. So that's something that I'm trying to put together and everything, and trying to have everything right. So hopefully I can have this episode out for you guys Wednesday or Thursday or something of that nature. All my socials will be on the screen. The ones that I mainly use is my TikTok account, so Anastasia Scouting Report. Thank you guys for the love over there. I think we just hit 2.7K, means a lot. And then also Anastasia250_. Anastasia Scouting Report is where I do the game reviews usually, and I do some other stuff. Anastasia250_ is when I do my live streams, though I do want to do it on my other account at times. And then I'm also doing game previews, and I'm trying to do other videos on that. So check me out on there. Twitter at the Anastasia25. I'm active on Twitter. I'm making highlights and all those other things. So yeah, if y'all enjoyed this episode, make sure to rate it Apple, Spotify. If you're on YouTube, give it a like. It helps me out a lot and just lets me know that you guys enjoyed it. I appreciate the feedback on the episode last week. You guys can also hit the hype button. It just gets it out to more people. I'd appreciate that. Comment. Let me know what you guys think down below on my thoughts on the teams. What do you guys think about the teams? What are changes that need to be made ultimately? You know what I mean? Dallas got to make some trades. We talked about that earlier though. And all that. All my social media and everything will be linked down below. Thank you guys for watching, whether you've been here before, whether you're new. Means a lot, but I will see you guys next week, hopefully. But yeah, this is a big episode, so the editing about to be hell again, but I'll see y'all next week.